Well, I'm Chris Lewis. I've lived here in Bonymaen for a bit over 10 years. Lived in Swansea previously, from Swansea, but have also lived and worked away in the Midlands. I'm a Baptist minister, sort of now retired really, officially. In theory, it doesn't actually work like that.
I moved to Bonymaen in 2020 and I've been working with the 11 o'clock club for 2 years now. Bonymaen and the surrounding area is nicer than Kent. The people are friendlier. There's a lot of greenery. It's a slower pace of life and much more enjoyable.
Lived here since 1978. Represented the ward since 2012, and prior to that represented another ward in Swansea. So yeah, roots in the area, worked in the area, family in the area.
I've been living in Bonymaen for the last 35 years. I've owned this business for the last 14 and a half years. You've seen a decline, especially since the cost of living. It is classed as a deprived area. Yeah, and I think, you know, it's tough for people around here in an area like this.
I was born and brought up in Bonymaen and don't live very far away. I didn't emigrate very far. I attend this beautiful chapel called Salem Capel y Cwm. It's a Methodist chapel, a Welsh Methodist chapel.
I'm a coach of the under-9s team, and I also run the Bonymaen Bears, which is a physical activity group that we run for local children in the area from the age of 4 to 6. I've been playing up here myself, playing rugby since I was a young child, from the age of 5 I think, and it's the heart of the community, this rugby club is, and I've made so many friends, and I've got family who play and are members up here, and it's a very special place to me.
Well, my name is Peter Harris. I'm the chair of Llansamlet Men's Shed. Originally it was just going to be for men only, but because we've had an influx of ladies, we have had to change it from the men's shed to the shed at the pavilion. The pavilion is the building to my left, which was an ex-old age pensioners pavilion, and due to COVID it became disused, and it was empty for over 2 years. So the council graciously asked if we wanted to take it over as a shed, and that's what we've done. We moved in here the early part of February, and as you can see, there is a lot of work going on.
Currently lived in Bonymaen 5 years, but left for a small time and came back, so probably about 18 years in total I've lived in Bonymaen. This time 5 years. Calvin Road.
So my name's Ashley. I do live in Bonymaen. I'm a resident, and from a young age I've been involved in a lot of community, such as the community centre, the Eastside Food Bank, and more importantly, Manic Productions Bonymaen, which is my little baby.
My name is Enzo Macaronelli. I'm a former British, Commonwealth, European and World Champion boxer. What I do in Bonymaen, I am currently a coach at Bonymaen ABC, Bonymaen Boxing Club. I took over 12 years ago, my dad passed away, and it's been a privilege to help these kids. I keep these kids off the street. We have a load of children come in, seniors and adults, seniors and kids. They box, they train, and I just try to better their lives.
My name's Jane Britton. I've actually lived here for 20 years, just over 20 years in March. I'm not originally from Bonymaen, I'm from the other side of the river, Plasmal, but looking at Kilvey Hill as a child growing up and taking part in the Swansea Valley project, plus having a horse here when I was 16, I knew the family, and when the house came on the market, then it was like a dream. So it was somewhere that I felt that my heart would be here. And I've been involved with the community in many different ways.
I'm Mandy Evans. I'm one of the 2 local elected members, a councillor. I've lived in Bonymaen all my life. My mother was one of 13, so well-established family in the ward, and my father was caretaker in Cum School for 30 odd years. So everybody knows us. I come into politics to obviously support and help the people who need that little bit of support. I love it, and I do try to achieve my best to support them who are less fortunate than I am.
Well, my name's Jen Patel and I volunteer here every Thursday and sometimes help out on Mondays with the food bank. Yeah, it's nice to be doing something that's outside of my own house, at face value at least, and then it's also nice to be helping people and doing anything other than just lying in bed for 6 hours straight.
Yeah, I'm David. I'm part of the Kilvey Hill Woodland Volunteers. We look after the hill here. We're trying to make it a better place for the community really, and make it somewhere that people can use and enjoy. We've been going since the 90s, so it's been an ongoing thing. I've only joined recently in this last couple of years since I joined with the Roundhouse project. But yeah, it's been an ongoing thing, and it will be for many years to come, hopefully.
I'm Sarah Glover, I'm chair of the community centre, but I also have a second role where I run the play scheme and after school clubs. So I'm the registered person for the play scheme and after school clubs as well, so I've got like 2 hats on. It's hard, we're constantly on the go looking for funding all the time, you know, so it's going down doing bucket collections, things like that, especially. With the community centre, COVID actually was quite helpful, you know, in terms of funding, because it shut down, but we had some bigger grants.
My name is Rachna Patel and I volunteer here. I've been volunteering since 2018 and now I'm also a trustee of the food bank. It's been used more and more, and you can see times like Christmas and summer holidays, it's getting used so much, and you can also see the people donating as well, which is lovely, which is really nice. Throughout the year, people donate. It's lovely.
I hope that we could do something more coherent. The difficulty is often simply that doing whatever they do takes all of people's energies. I do the food bank, says somebody, but I really haven't got time to do the 1100 club that goes on at the community centre. And they clash. And if it were possible, just to get around that somehow, and some of that might very well be a matter of inspiration, if you like, vision, which just gives that bit of energy, and also to open up people's horizons.
times I find them operating separately and duplicating, or not providing for the whole community. So yeah, I think there is room for them to get together and join up.
I think the concept of Better Bonymaen is brilliant, because you've got so many individual projects going, and not a lot of them liaise with each other. So the whole idea, if you can establish Better Bonymaen and make it successful, you bring in all those people together so that you can then bounce off each other. But there are so many possibilities of Better Bonymaen working to the benefit of all the members of the community.
Absolutely, there's a very good community spirit in Bonymaen. They look after their own. They like their own, you know. And when I was interested in the garden project initially, I spoke to some elderly gentlemen who have allotments in the area, and they were I was thinking about getting them involved to share their knowledge with younger generation, and so that the growing keeps coming and the knowledge keeps coming, because we're only here for a short time and we have to make the most of the time we have, but share the knowledge that we have onward.
Bonymaen, I believe, is a community. There is a sense of community involvement. However, over the last sort of few years, it has been lacking. And I think that's what a lot of community groups want to do, is sort of bring back that special bond. And that is what we want to kind of progress onto, is bringing the intergenerational community back together. I know if we look back 10 years ago, there used to be community parades, there would be a lot more events going on, such as in the local school Kevin Hengoed, and there'd be summer fetes. Everyone kind of knew each other, and that was the best thing about living here. But then since COVID and budget cuts in the council, it's kind of almost like Bonymaen's been forgotten.
Bonymaen is special because of the concept of community, which has fallen apart. And I think more so since COVID, we've seen that decline in confidence, that decline in aspiration. And there wasn't much before, but there were people who were achieving. We've got community leaders here who do lead and achieve so much for those who are struggling. But Bonymaen is the best. It's the best community. I will say that because I've lived here 63 years. But there's good and bad everywhere, but we are really special here. And if something goes wrong, everybody will open their door and everybody will support. So concept of community is like concept of family, very intact. We just need that little kickstart to show people we can do it and we will do it.